Dawn has always wanted to adopt ever since we got married. For me, it was always something that I wasn't sure about. Looking back, it was being selfish. I wanted to have kids and then be retired and live the free life. So I went to church one day and they were having a service on obedience. And it really just hit me that I wasn't being obedient. I was being selfish and thinking about my life.
We had 3 biological kids at the time, and our youngest was 5. We chose to pursue Ethiopia because the reports were that there were 5 million orphans in Ethiopia alone. And so we just really felt called to go to the place of greatest need.
So once we made the decision to adopt, Dawn really drove everything. She did all the paperwork, made all the calls.
We were told that once we completed our paperwork, that it would be, I think they said, a 9 to 12 month process. We kept waiting and kept waiting. We had been on the wait list for our agency for 2 full years after the paperwork. So that was 2.5 years into the process. And we were called into a conference call with all of the waiting Ethiopia families. And we were told that they were closing the program.
I would say up to that point I was really emotionless. And then when that happened, it actually made me angry a little bit. Not in angry that they did this, but kind of gave me motivation.
And we were really questioning what we were supposed to do. Had we misheard? Were we not supposed to be waiting for Ethiopia? Because the waiting process had already been so much longer than we expected. We knew we were supposed to be doing this, so what was taking so long? I really felt God speak to me, and what I heard him say was, be steadfast and be open. Immediately we signed on with a new agency, and we took the money that we had saved for the end process and started anew.
One thing that God has taught me this whole process is to not worry about the money. And I truly didn't worry about the money. I said, whatever happens, we'll be able to pay for. God will provide. And he did.
And that was really thanks to Chosen. Frankly, if Chosen hadn't been a part of our story, it would have been game over at that point, because all of our money, we had used all of our funds to get to that point. And so to start over, we had to use what we had raised through Chosen.
So once we started all the work with the new agency, there was more wait time, obviously. And it was hard. It was hard because people would remind you all the time about how long you were waiting by asking, are you still waiting? How's it going? And that was a constant question.
3 years after starting the process, we got a call from our new agency, and they said, I know that you're waiting for a preschool aged girl, but would you consider a baby? And at that point I was like, yes, we will consider anything, please. And they said, well, she has a twin brother. We were sent a photo of the most beautiful baby that I'd ever seen. And we joyfully said yes. And again, if it wasn't for Chosen, we couldn't have said yes to 2. The costs were absolutely double. And so these were Chosen babies. We were matched with them November 18th, 2015, and we got the approval call November 18th, 2016, literally 1 year to the day. And we hopped on a plane 6 days later and went and picked up the most beautiful toddlers we'd ever seen.
Now we have 5 kids. We always joke when we got married, I wanted to have 2, she wanted to have 4, and here we are with 5.
I just know God writes the best stories. It's a gift for us to have the 2 of them. I think it's a gift for them to have each other to grow with. One thing that's been a huge blessing to us since we've been home is the aftercare support that Chosen provides. We've been connected to other families who have adopted not only internationally, but transracially. And so that's been a huge gift, just to be able to call on people who have walked the walk. They're a little farther down the road than I am.
The Bible calls for us to care for orphans. And while we chose to care for them physically, it doesn't require you to do that. Many people have supported us financially. And if it wasn't for Chosen and their services, we wouldn't be here today.
We're grateful that we were able to say yes. Yes to Ben and yes to Mazzy. And it's thanks to the generosity of other people that we were able to make them a part of our forever family. And we're so grateful.